Today we'll explore cheerfulness in Mother and Aurobindo words. In Savitri, there's a beautiful line, a playground of the living infinite. A playground of the living infinite. So the divine doesn't take himself seriously. He plays, he creates forms, colors, beauty. In that joy, Aurobindo somewhere in the aphorism says, if you see the world as it is, you know that the divine has a very good sense of humor. He couldn't have built it otherwise. All, it's a combination of so many things, right? Out of chaos, harmony, blend of so many things. Only with a person who has such a sense of humor can create such a universe. And if you see at a very macro level, the planets, the different universes, the stars, there are multiple solar systems, and there are so many, all these astronomers who go. Basically, they just feel as astronauts. It's only somebody much higher than us. There is definitely a divine who's created this play of colors, this illumination, this extent of beauty. That he is that he just plays and creates within himself. He creates this beauty. There's another line in Savitri. Aurobindo is talking about a particular world. He says in that divine, world, it is work was play and play the only work. Work was play and play the only work. So it's just joy expressing itself in different ways. And there's another famous aphorism which says, the divine is nothing but an eternal child playing an eternal game in an eternal garden. An eternal child playing an eternal game in an eternal garden. Mother beautifully says in one place, he's saying, if you're troubled by something, why don't you look it up in that angle, in the vastness? Whatever you feel troubled about is just a nanosecond in the course of things. So in the eternity of things, it is nothing. And there's also, we hear this, the earth, we say, it is a blue dot in the entire universe. It's just a blue dot. And if earth is a blue dot, what are we? And we take our lives so important, and we get pressurized with a lot of situations really unnecessarily. So why can't we just take life as a game, as seeing the divine revealing himself differently in front of us through our work, through our relationships, through our family, and whatever it is? Why can't we see the divine? And the sadhaks used to ask Mother, it's very difficult for me to work in this department. I'm not able to get along with this person. She would say, you're not taken the trouble to see the divine playing in that person, because you're taking everything else to the ego, your likes, your dislikes, your preferences. He doesn't match your standards. But if you see, okay, there's another way of being, and the divine is, has formed himself like this, with a different nature, with a peculiar nature. You see it in that angle, it's all joy and beauty. So Mother gives a meaning for cheerfulness. She says, a joyous smile of nature. A joyous smile of nature. If we see the material nature also around us, the flowers which are blooming, and Mother, how much importance she's given to the flowers. It's just how the flower is responding to the sun which it's receiving, how it's forever in gratitude. No, and it's not blooming for anybody to appreciate it. It is just its way of being. When the sun hits it, when the water and the other nutrients, play with it, it is just expressing itself. That is its natural way, a joyous smile of nature. I think the cherry blossom tree also, if I'm not wrong, mother, she had a very deep experience with the tree in Japan, and she's given something to this extent, smile in nature, divine smile. I may be wrong, but I think something connected to smile. And even not only the material nature, the nature around us, but we ourselves, what all we are carrying, the different natures, different aspects in us. And also having that pride of, I am doing yoga, I am a sadhak of integral yoga. Why all these tags? Just to be. Mother has kept us in a particular way, making us do few things, just to be in that gratefulness, in that love, to just simply serve her. Then she says mental cheerfulness. It knows how to take delight in everything. Everything is the same. There are no ups and downs. Even when it's in a very ecstatic state, also, there's not this over exuberance, over delight. Everything with a beautiful, natural smile, it takes life. Even when there are lows and troubles and pain, sufferings, even that, it has an equal heart, mental cheerfulness. In this context, I'm reminded of Amrita Das, one episode. So we all know Amrita Da had such a joyful child, and mother called him the only secretary of Sri Aurobindo ashram. Like, he did his work also to his best and with that cheerfulness. And there would be generally parallels with Nalini Das' way of working and Amrita Das' way of working. So Amrita Da would bring that lightness in that atmosphere. So in his late days, when he was about to leave his body, even then he was suffering a lot. He had some heart problem, and some disciple of the mother, they went and asked him, how are you doing? Everything is all right? And he says, everything is all right, but I'm having some trouble with my sweetheart. Even he's going through a lot of suffering, but he didn't, his equality was such. Even there, he got in that humor, that joy, this is not troubling me. That also, in a very deep sense, like, I am not the body. I am always, filled with Ananda. I am a part of Mother's Ananda. We are all, like we say, Amritasya Putraha. We are all beings of nectar. We are all beings of Ananda. So that is what is making him make the environment light and not only focused about the troubles. So mother says it's very important in our sadhana to keep a cheerful mind and a peaceful heart. Let nothing disturb you. He says, let nothing disturb your equanimity and make every day the necessary progress to advance with me steadily towards the goal. Make every day the necessary progress to advance with me steadily towards the goal. Recently, I was listening to an Alok Das talk. There he said, this game of the divine, and we participate in it. It is like a fixed match. The divine, the goal and all is very, very clear. Mother has beautifully laid the path for us. We will win that match. The victory is sure, that is certain. Why can't we go joyfully? Like she says, hold my hand steadily towards the goal. Advance with me steadily towards the goal. Even if we have a sorrowful face, a gloomy face, still mother is carrying us. There's no doubt about that. But why can't we take a little joy and delight? We know the supramental ship experience of the mother, where she sees all the inhabitants in the ship, what they were wearing, how they were, what are the parts in their being which had got transformed, what kind of color they were. So much she said, and she said, I am the captain of this ship. So it's like she is heading the evolution, taking us, carrying us to make us, the next being in the in future, the supramental being. Beyond that, also there would be other beings, and yes, Mother Sri Aurobindo will come in different forms, and wherever we are, how many ever births we need to take, they'll come there and also and guide us. So that sounds so beautiful. And in Alokda's talk, I remember once he said, why not we all taste sweet to the divine? If we are cribbing, complaining, and not seeing the joy in every situation, why are we tasting to him like pavaka? Why are we tasting like so bitter for him? So let us taste. Divine is to taste us. He should taste. Wow, okay, this child of mine is sweet. Is walking so joyfully in my path like that. So mother says, generally man takes himself terribly seriously. To know how to smile at oneself in all circumstances, to smile at one's sorrows and delusions, ambitions and sufferings, indignation and revolt. What a powerful weapon with which to overcome oneself. So whatever is happening, every step of the way, ups, downs, ambition, suffering, have this smile, this equanimity. It keeps coming again and again. Don't take life so seriously. There are so many lines in Savitri that maybe I'm not stating the exact words. That step was the needed pace. If that step for you, it felt like it is a downfall or it is not working according to your plan, but that is the needed pace in the journey. So many things, even our errors he makes into steps for progress. Lot of beautiful lines and reminders for us from time to time, and so many of them we know the sadhak stories, how they stumbled upon Mother Sri Aurobindo. Amal Kiran, he bought a shoe from somewhere, that paper which they usually pack the shoes, that had a little satsang of Mother Sri Aurobindo in this address. So we could have discarded that paper, right? But every step, everything the divine is holding and carrying. Just now before our we started, Shiv Kumar of the head office branch, he was talking about while playing cricket, he realized the divine everywhere. So divine can come and meet us, because where is he after all? Like he was saying, he's not up there. He's inside us, working inside us. We are an expression, like we are one of the expressions of the divine. So mother says we have to be in that psychic happiness. When the sadhak has this constantly, we know that he has got over the worst difficulty, that he is now firmly on the safe path. She talks about herself. You may think I joke a lot. That is again coming from the happiness from my psychic, she says. Have that psychic happiness, that presence which is continuously connected to the divine, which is the portion of the divine deep inside us. It's always joyful because it's nearest, it's in the divine, it knows, it has the knowledge about the divine's existence, the presence. After all, it's the portion of the divine in each of us. So for it, there's nothing, right? It's always that happiness. Sometimes Sri Aurobindo mentions the psychic sorrow. The psychic sees so much falsehood and things going against the divine's work. That time it comes the psychic sorrow. Even there it feels, why not? The children of the divine turn to her fully, why they are going here and there. So, but it's we are the ones giving these names, but the psychic is always in that ever-present happiness. Sri Aurobindo has once elaborated on the story of Narada, basically. So Narada goes around finding who is a very devoted person of Vishnu. So he finds two people. So he finds a yogi and who is continuously in tapasya, continuously chanting the name of the Lord. And then he tells the yogi, Vishnu is very pleased. You're doing so much great, deep devotion. You're so united with him. And he says you'll realize him in 6 lives. The yogi immediately got very disappointed. Oh, I've been doing this tapasya for these many years, these many decades, and I have to wait for 6 more lives, 6 more, I have to be on the similar path, similar journey. I just can't wait. I wish he could give me the realization much sooner. And then he meets one peasant. Then he's also, whatever he's doing, he's singing joyfully the name of the Lord. He's very, very happy. And Narada tells him, the divine will meet you, you'll be one with him in a lack of lives. For this, the reaction of that simple person, he said he was so overjoyed, so happy. Okay, the divine will meet me. He's given me that assurance. Is he going to come? This is like he was so elated about the whole thing. So that's the difference. Just to know that how many ever life doesn't matter, but I'm sure to meet him, that he is, he has told this. So that was enough for that, that simple peasant. So like just, not caring about the number of lives that he has to be this way. It's about how to take the situation, take it in that joyful way, because the divine's assurance is always there. Mother keeps repeatedly saying, have this inner good humor which helps you not to get discouraged, not to become sad, and to face all difficulties with a smile. In Savitri also, there's a very beautiful line. Suffering was lost in her immortal smile. Like sometimes I do it, if I heard something which was not appropriate, or some perhaps targeted or whatever, if I'm not feeling very nice, sometimes not even about somebody saying something, somebody doing something. Sometimes you just don't have that utmost aspiration, like then I just close my eyes and remember mother's smile. No, I want to be in your smile. I want to see your smile. Like, really bring that smile, like how mother will smile. I want to be like that. And there's a very beautiful photo, like mother is like laughing uncontrollably, and she's holding her hand also against the mouth and laughing. So I try to bring that image of the mother. Maybe if it's useful for you, you can also do that. So just what are all these petty things that you are worrying about? The mother has found us. What is, what does it even matter in this? And what everything else is like literally dust in front of it, right? The divine mother, she's incarnated and she has called us, and that is so important and joyful for all of us. So we all know that we are walking on the sunlit path. So Sri Aurobindo says there are 2 paths, sunlit path and a gloomy path. The path in which one goes forward in absolute reliance on the mother, fearing nothing, sorrowing over nothing. Aspiration is needed, but there can be a sunlit aspiration, full of light and faith and confidence and joy. If difficulty comes, even that can be faced with a smile. If difficulty comes, even that can be faced with a smile. So beautifully he says, hold that aspiration, that sunlit aspiration, full of light, full of faith, full of confidence and joy. once one sadhak asked, okay, there's a lot of talk about being cheerful. What do you think about light joking? Joking for the sake of joking, Sri Aurobindo and Mother didn't appreciate, like trying to be popular in the group, or no. He says it is a mere bubbling of the vital on the surface level, but that cheerfulness, that inner sukhasya, that is the spiritual condition of cheerfulness. And we have heard this quite a lot. Never grumble. All sorts of forces enter you when you grumble and they pull you down. Keep smiling. I seem always to be joking, but it is not mere joking. It is a confidence born from the psychic. A smile expresses the faith that nothing can stand against the divine and that everything will come out all right in the end. A smile expresses the faith that nothing can stand against the divine and that everything will come out all right in the end. There's one aphorism, or I think, sorry, not an aphorism, it's part of a poem. So, even in the enemy, I see Krishna's face. No, now, who's the enemy? Who's the friend? If everybody is the divine, who's has the right to upset you? And you just see the divine and his joy everywhere. There's a incident in Bhagavat, and Krishna used to do all his tantrums, and Yashoda is very angry and she takes hold of him. And then his friends are also there close by. In everybody, she sees Krishna's face. Like, where's my child who started all this, problem and mischief? She couldn't know. Everybody has Krishna's face. So if we can live with that attitude, I know it is very nice to be and listening to this and feel, literally Yashoda's experience and all. Yeah, maybe many of us would be touched by such experiences also. But today, only just before giving the talk, I was saying, okay, I'm going to speak on this. So if I can recollect from morning to now, was I very joyful? Was I behaving from that inner smile? I was trying to recall those moments. So really, whatever we are doing and all the words of Mother Shri Aurobindo that we are getting, open to, it's better that we really go deep, like make that act through us, because our yoga is that, right? Changing the nature, changing the matter, changing the physical. Just to be sitting in that blissful words, oh, it's so great, so beautiful, what words. We cannot do that. We have to bring it to our way of being, way of acting. So, Sri Aurobindo says, when you feel low, when you're feeling depressed, call for the mother's force to remove the depression. Call her to remove the depression. So it's very useful. Sometimes you're playing out, the situation and things in our heads, and can be pertaining to anything like our sadhana, the work, the people, family, whatever it is. If we can actually write letters to the mother, journal to the mother, put it out to her point blank. Like Sahana she used to write continuously to mother and Sri Aurobindo, and she would be like, I'm writing so much, I hope I'm not taking your time. But Sri Aurobindo encouraged it so much. Like, tell me everything, tell me all the details. Sometimes why should I expose this to the divine? It's not necessary. Maybe he already knows. Mother would say that more you write, more you know about yourself, how much, to what extent you know yourself. So it's better to express wholeheartedly. And also, if we are carrying that, that mental tension, if we just release it out in paper, you feel a lot lighter. That burden really drops because you just poured it out. You're getting more mental clarity, and to an extent, you get guidance, how to handle it. Because ultimately, we are here to call the mother's force, be with her, surrender to her. That is our goal. We shouldn't get trapped into these small, small situations. And even if we feel trapped, she is only our answer for everything. A beautiful sentence over here. There's no reason, certainly, for despair. There's no reason, certainly. The bliss always comes in drops at first, or a broken trickle. You have to go on cheerfully and in full confidence till there is the cascade. The bliss always comes. It may come in some drops, it may come as little trickles, but your work is to go on cheerfully and in full confidence till there is a cascade. The bliss comes like a waterfalls on you fully. In Savitri, how many places Sri Aurobindo has mentioned, the world is created out of bliss, hidden in the roots is the bliss, the delight of existence. So the bliss is always there. We are the ones putting the veils on that bliss. The vital veil, the mental veil, the physical veil. Just have to, at one shot, remove, and also ask Mother to remove these blocks, which is not helping us to see that cascade. Chambakulal Mother has once said, be simple, be happy, remain quiet. Do your work as well as you can. Keep yourself always open to me. Be simple, be happy, remain quiet. Do your work as well as you can. Keep yourself always open towards me. So now I'll take up like few stories or incidents and correspondence with Nirodha and Sri Aurobindo, all the places where there was so much of joy, Sri Aurobindo's lightheartedness and all. We'll just go through some of them. We'll start with in Words of Long Ago. There's a set of stories. So there's a mention of this story. So in Persia, it says, there was a woman who used to sell honey. She had a very pleasant manner. The customers thronged around her stall, and the poet who tells her story declares that even if she had sold poison, people still would have bought it from her as if it were honey. A sour-tempered man saw what a great profit she made from her sweet wares and decided to take up the same trade. So he kept a stall. But behind the rows of honey pots, his face was like vinegar. All those who came near were sullenly treated, and so everyone passed by, leaving him with his wares. Not even a fly ventured on his honey, says the poet. But by evening he had still earned nothing. A woman noticed him and said to her husband, a bitter face makes bitter honey. So it's just that with that cheerfulness, that lady was selling honey, so people were easily attracted to her. And just people sense the energy. If your eyes are only profit, the numbers, how many honey packets you're selling today, that is very clear, or you are carrying other burdens of the day. So in this beautiful story, Mother tells us the importance of cheerfulness. So we'll read a few letters. And Nirodha used to write to Sri Aurobindo. He used to write a lot about his medical cases, and Sri Aurobindo wanted to know every aspect of it, and also about his sadhana. So I'll read. So Nirodha says, I'm plunged in a sea of dryness and I'm terribly thirsty for something. Along with it, waves of old desire. Any handy remedy? Sri Aurobindo says. Eucharistic injection from above. It's something like Holy Communion in the church and all. They give you some, say, maybe equivalent to a prasad, I'm assuming. So that injection from above. Purgative rejection below, liquid diet, psychic fruit juice, milk of the spirit. So Nirvada is saying, I don't know where my sadhana is going. It's all so dry. Some old desires are coming. I don't feel the joy. And he's telling all this in his medical terms. Take a liquid diet, have psychic fruit juice, have milk of the spirit, like that. The next one. I hear from a reliable authority that the supramental descent is very near. Is it time, sir? Sri Aurobindo. I'm very glad to hear it from a reliable authority. It is a great relief. So many of the sadhaks used to continuously ask him, so when is the supramental coming? And Sri Aurobindo would say, I've just touched the tail of the supramental. And somebody, and I think in one place he said, okay, if the supramental has to come, so maybe my table will be the first to get it because it's closest to me. So Sri Aurobindo, who is that pioneer, the divine incarnate, bringing down the supramental descent, and he says, oh, you heard it from a very reliable authority. It's a great relief for me. How it can be like so simplistic, so joyful. One day, Sahana Di was to do a performance, like a dance, short dance program for the mother, and she had to practice for it. And she was looking for some room in the ashram where she can practice. Then she writes, when the idea of showing the dance to the mother was first mooted, we asked her to allot a particular room for practicing. But the room below resided a sadhak. But in that room, below that room, there resided a sadhak. Sri Aurobindo wrote in answer to our request, he is too serious to be danced over. He is too serious to be danced over. So Sri Aurobindo really understood the nature of people, their reactions. If she were to dance and, thud, that sound, and this person would be meditating and he'd be a very serious person and he wouldn't like it. Sri Aurobindo was saying that. Like how like a friend would talk to you in such a jovial, sweet manner. So now I'll take up like few from Amrita Das. Okay? We all know there are so many instances with him and the mother and all the beautiful, joyful experiences. The human and the divine. The mother used to take French translation classes in the playground in the evenings. Once our very busy Amrita was late to the class. The mother asked him what was the distance between the human and the divine and told him, unless you answer this question, you should not enter the class. Mother is asking what's the distance between human and the divine. You have to answer this question, otherwise I'm not allowing you inside the class. Arviti Amrita, instead of answering the question, went straight to the mother with long strides, to the astonishment of the others in the class for violating the orders. And he told the mother, only 3 steps, mother. Thou art divine and I am human. Only 3 steps, mother. Thou art divine and I am human. Mother was pleased with this apt answer and allowed him to attend the class. The entire class admired his intuitive, apt answer told in a humorous way. Just imagine that scene. Mother is also playing with her child, like posing that she's very strict and he has to answer this question, then he'll be allowed. And this is the truth, right? What is the distance? Wherever you are and wherever mother is. But if we see, like the mother is always inside us and literally there's no steps. We are just united with her all the time. One more beautiful incident. On the first of every month, the mother used to go to the library house to distribute to the sadhaks their material needs for the month. It was called the Prosperity Day. Some of us would accompany her. She had to pass through a long corridor where quite a number of people used to assemble. The mother would have fun with the gathering. She would distribute toffees to each member, to some in their hands, to most others. She would throw a toffee very playfully so that we might not catch it easily. Most of us were good catchers, but Amrita had never been a sportsman, and the mother would bring that out by either throwing the toffee at a great speed or tossing it up or hurling it beyond his reach. Poor Amrita would invariably miss it. Once she threw the sweet quite hard, and Amrita made a violent comic gesture with both arms as if he were trying to embrace somebody. Oh, Amrita, the mother cried with a smile. To catch a small thing, you make such a violent movement, he says. Dosmere, he replied. I was trying to catch what was behind it. I was trying to catch what was behind it. Everyone burst into laughter. Amrita was very good at such repartees. So he knows the Divine Mother and she throws something and he's trying to catch the invisible things that she's throwing, and beautifully he covered up his state. And once actually mother asked him, and maybe it was on his birthday, what do you want, Amrita? Tell me. See, I'm the Divine Mother standing. Ask me anything. Liberation, transformation, whatever it is, ask me. I'm just, it's easy for me. I'll give you. In fact, while saying this, it was Amrita only. Amrita and another sadhak, they were reading Life Divine. And mother just crossed them. And she casually asked, what are you reading? And they said, we're reading about Brahman consciousness, mother. And mother walked past. Then these two who got the experience of Brahman consciousness. So the mother, it's just so easy for us, easy for her to just give whatever it is. Then Amrita thought a lot when mother's asking this, what do I ask? Then he said, Mother, I want 3 bunions. Then mother was pretty surprised. I am asking you for subtler things for you to progress in the sadhana, but you're asking me just for some material thing like a buniyan. And she said, all that I know without me asking, you're going to give. This is something practical. My bunions are wearing out, they're looking old. I want 3 new nice bunions. So that was Amrita. So glad that these stories are recorded and documented, that we can all just imagine and feel the presence of the mother and her banter with her sadhaks. One more short one, Nirodha. My nights are again becoming heavy. I don't know how to deal with them. Aurobindo. So are mine, with a too damnably heavy burden of letters to write. Nirodha's expressing that this sadhana, like sometimes the subconscious, inconscient layers are coming forward, nights are becoming heavy, and Aurobindo was saying, yeah, even I have too much of letters to be writing, burden of letters, so even my nights are very heavy. So beautiful. So maybe we can end today, but before closing, there's one more. To go back to the old days, when I was young, this is Amal Kiran. There was at that time not only a meditation in the early morning at 7:30, but also a night meditation to which I was not admitted because I was a mere novice and the mother must have thought I would fall asleep. Even now, she thinks that people on the whole can really meditate only for 3 minutes. Afterwards, there are diverse states of sleep. And somebody asked her, How long a man could sit in Sri Aurobindo's room for meditation, she said. It can't be for more than 3 minutes, or soon after that he will fall asleep. And actually, even the older sadhaks seemed to be falling asleep for Sri Aurobindo shortly after I came to Pondicherry, put a dead stop to the night meditation, saying, I don't care for a snoring concert. Sri Aurobindo said, I don't care for a snoring concert. So many sadhaks, they think they are meditating, but they go into deep sleep, and Sri Aurobindo was mocking that and saying there would be a snoring concert if all of you do this meditation. So they stopped that meditation. And Amal Kiranda was also, had a very good sense of humor. So in the meditation hall, there would be, say, A.B. Purani, few others meditating. In one occasion, A.B. Purani ji, in the meditation, his head was like falling down, basically. So he writes, he used to sketch very beautifully. So he sketches A.B. Purani's face, that particular posture, and he writes, undermined by the overmind, something like that. The pressure of the overmind, his body's head is not able to be still and it is falling. So a lot of these, they used to bring out the sense of humor. So recently, actually, I did this little exercise with a friend. So I want you all to do maybe before you sleep tonight. Today, in the whole day, recollect 2 or 3 moments when you felt genuinely happy, you got a smile on your face. It can be anything, nothing very deep or anything. It can be like you're walking and suddenly there's a little drop of rain and you felt happy, or whatever it can be. It's nice to connect to these happy, lighter, moments in the day. There would be many that we are not conscious of, we are not making a note of. And especially if you feel you're burdened with something, and just to think that, okay, uh, there's so much beauty, there's so much joy around, we have missed these moments. Just recollecting the moments, and do it as an exercise whenever you feel like, especially today if you can do, and whenever you want to. Yeah. So I'll end today, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Archana. ரொம்ப as usual உங்களுடைய டாக் ரொம்ப அற்புதமா இருந்தது. நிறைய வேல்யூபிள் டிப்ஸ் கொடுத்தீங்க. ஹவு டு பி ஆல்வேஸ் ஹாப்பி அண்ட் ஸ்மைலிங். எப்படி இந்த நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த இடம், இந்த earth is a playground of the living infinite. Whenever we face any challenges in life, நம்ம அந்த சேலஞ்சஸை எப்படி ஒரு வாஸ்ட்னஸ், இந்த பேக்ரவுண்ட் ஆஃப் வாஸ்ட்னஸ், அதை எப்படி பார்க்கறது, அது மாதிரி ஒரு பெரிய வாஸ்ட்னஸ்ல நம்மளுடைய சேலஞ்சஸ் ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கும். then you'll be able to resolve the problem அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு அன்னையினுடைய கருத்தை நாங்க கேட்டோம். எப்பொழுதுமே இந்த சேர்ஃபுல்னஸ் அப்படின்னா அந்த ஸ்மைல் ஜாயஸ் ஸ்மைலா இருக்கணும். இட்ஸ் a joyous smile of nature. அதுதான் இந்த சேர்ஃபுல்னஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது. one should have a cheerful mind, பீஸ்ஃபுல் ஹார்ட். எப்பொழுதுமே மதர் என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, லெட் நத்திங் டிஸ்டர்ப் யுவர் ஈக்வாலிட்டி அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. ஆல்வேஸ் பி ஹாப்பி, லெட் நத்திங் டிஸ்டர்ப் யுவர் ஹாப்பினஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் மதரனுடைய ஒரு ரிப்பீட்டட்லி ஷி டோல்ட் த சேம் திங். எல்லாருக்கும் எல்லா சிச்சுவேஷன்லையும் யூ ஷுட் நோ ஹவு டு ஸ்மைல். மதர் சேஸ் டு நோ ஹவு டு ஸ்மைல் அட் ஆல் சர்க்கம்ஸ்டன்சஸ் அப்படிங்கிறத மதர் சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ இதை ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா நேச்சுரலி நம்மளுக்கு வந்து பை நேச்சர் வில் பிகம் சியர்ஃபுல் வாட் எவர் மே பி த சர்க்கம்ஸ்டன்சஸ். சியர்ஃபுல்னஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது நீங்க சொன்னீங்க இட் இஸ் அன் அவுட்கம் ஆஃப் அவர் சைக்கிக் ஹாப்பினஸ். மதர் அதான் சொல்றாங்க, அந்த சியர்ஃபுல்னஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது எதனுடைய அவுட்கம் அப்படின்னா இட் இஸ் நாட் த சூப்பர்ஃபிஷியல் பபிள், இந்த ஒரு சர்ஃபேஸ்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு எக்ஸைட்டட் ஸ்டேட் கிடையாது. இட் இஸ் கம்மிங் ஃப்ரம் டீப் விதின். சோர்ஸ் பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா அதோடைய சோர்ஸ் வந்து சைக்கிக் பீயிங். தட்ஸ் வை மதர் என்ன சொல்றாங்க, இந்த சியர்ஃபுல்னஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது இட்ஸ் பார்ன் அவுட் ஆஃப் சைக்கிக் ஹாப்பினஸ் என்கின்ற கருத்தையும் நீங்கள் கூறினீர்கள். என்ன தேவை அப்படின்னா மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்லி ஒன் ஷுட் பி ஹாப்பி இன்வர்ட்லி. இந்த இன்னர் ஹாப்பினஸ் தான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அவுட்வர்ட்லி மேபி பாய்ஸ் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஸாக இருக்கணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது. பட் தட் இன்னர் ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் ஹாப்பினஸ் இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். தட்ஸ் வாட் மதர், அதுதான் மதர் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. Naturally, human beings are always prone to ups and downs in moods. Mood swing அப்படிங்கிறது human beings வந்து nobody can escape from it. அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்யூஷன் அப்படின்னா naturally you have to call the mother's force to remove the depression. Sri Aurobindo அதான் சொல்றாரு, we have to call the mother's force to remove the depression. அடிப்படையில் இன்னொரு கருத்தையும் நீங்க சொன்னீங்க, இந்த என்டையர் கிரியேஷன் இருக்குது, இந்த வேர்ல்டு எல்லாமே கிரியேஷனுடைய ரூட்ல என்ன இருக்கு அப்படின்னா இந்த பிளிஸ். இந்த பிளிஸ் தான். we come from the bliss, we live by the bliss, we go back to the bliss. ஸோ அதனால பிளிஸ் தான் எல்லாத்துக்கும் ரூட்ல இருக்கு. ஸோ as long as we are in touch with that root, naturally we'll be always happy. நிறைய இன்சிடென்ட்ஸ் நீங்க கோட் பண்ணீங்க, எப்படி அப்கோர்ஸ் மேன் ஆஃப் சாரோஸ் இந்த ஸ்ரீ அரபிந்தோ வந்து நிரோத் பரண வந்து நிறைய தடவை மேன் ஆஃப் சாரோஸ் எல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்கிறாரு. அண்ட் ஸ்ரீ அரபிந்தோஸ் ஹியூமர் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு புக்கே வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா நிரோத் பரன் எழுதியிருக்கிறாரு. அது நிறைய இன்சிடென்ட்ஸ் நிரோத் பரன் கோட் பண்றாரு. அவருடைய கரஸ்பாண்டன்ஸ்ல ஸ்ரீ அரபிந்தோ வந்து அவருடைய சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹியூமர், வெரி சட்டில் சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹியூமர். அதே போல எப்படி மதரும் பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா நிறைய she was always very cheerful and playing with the sadhaks, and அவங்களுடைய இன்டராக்ஷன்ஸ் வித் அமிர்தா ஜி வந்து நிறைய இன்சிடென்ட்ஸ் நீங்க கோட் பண்ணீங்க. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும் பொழுது what we understand is that even the spiritually complete persons, avatars, they are அவங்களுடைய சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹியூமர், they all have a sense of humor. அதைத்தான் நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ மதர் சொல்லியிருக்கிற மாதிரி we should always be simple, be happy, do your work as well as you can. And cheerfulness அப்படிங்கிறது it shows that we have faith in the mother. cheerful-ஆ இருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா it shows that we have faith. மதர் இன்னமும் ஒரு ஸ்டெப் சொல்றாங்க, whenever you feel unhappy, that means you are not sincere அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. Whenever you feel unhappy, you have to write beneath that state that I am not sincere. When you are sincere, you will be happy அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. So many things இன்னைக்கு நீங்க எங்களோட ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டீங்க. Thank you very much.